right now. In the top left corner, we have from Team Evil Genius's raid call. It is Chris Loranger, also known as Huck. I guess the RMA director over at Kingston HyperX, one of the funniest commercials that I've seen in a long time. Over in the bottom left, from Team Acer, the newly acquired MMA. I remember having this conversation with Rotterdam, and he was saying how MMA just sounds like a cool name. It's just he thinks that the 2-3 letters like MC or MMA or MVP just sounds really cool because it's like it's short enough so that you know exactly what it is, but it's also like in a weird way, it's because it's only a couple letters, it's unique. You know?
Dan, if you only had 3 letters to actually make your name, what would it be?
Just F-R-O.
Fro? It wouldn't be Dan?
Nah.
I feel like that would be the obvious choice, Dan.
The Dan is my real. Are you talking about like alias though?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it'd just be.
What's your Chinese name?
Ely.
Ely?
Like Y-I-L-I. Not
Willy.
wheelie. Lauren
Free Willy.
Lauren Lee's like, I love wheelies. I do them on my bike. It's like, I love Willy. That movie was awesome. No, it's Ely, and it's supposed to mean. It's supposed to mean something. I don't know. Oh, Lauren Lee's. I would just call you Xiaojia.
What?
Xiaojia. Yep.
I call you Bobby.
It means little sister. Sort in the most literal.
I have no clue.
Bobby means it's kind of like a weird way to say dad. It's like an informal way to say dad. If you say Bobby. If you say Bobby.
So I'm father and sister.
Yeah. I literally just said a random thing.
We say NASL as a family, but we didn't really tell you the entire story. It's very convoluted. Once again, Lauren not being heard because Andre and I are having our one way. Huck gets in and sees a command center and knows everything that's going up. At least he knows it's not a 1-1-1. Although, is a 1-1-1 strong on a map like in Entombed Valley, Andre?
I would say so in these positions.
Like, is it really able to get? I mean, yeah, I guess you're right.
In these positions, I mean, 1-1-1 is possible. I still feel like 1-1-1 is obsolete, even though I still lose to it. It's unfortunate. I like what we're seeing, though. The bunker needs to go down. There's no actual scout from MMA, so he could be up against very high pressure, and indeed it is. You can see the Zealot already on the way. This was a chrono-boosted Stalker. If you do not get this bunker immediately, you will end up losing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But this bunker really solidifies his position, so Huck, his standard style is to actually put a lot of aggression on. It's going to be stopped right away here in game number 2.
I remember practicing with one of my buddies, I think just a couple weeks ago, and I was playing Terran, he was playing Protoss, and he was saying, you make a bunker so much quicker than everyone else. I feel like I can't pressure with Zealot Stalker. And I say, well, everyone does that nowadays, don't they? Because of the Zealot Stalker. And he's like, yeah, but players like MC and Huck are doing it, and like that's why I feel like it should be successful. I'm like, well, MC and Huck are not as successful as they used to be in Protoss vs. Terran. They used to be godly in this matchup because of their early pressure, but when Terrans figured out small things like bunker timings and even really deliberate things like how they use their first gas, I feel like early pressure really gets shut down quite often.
Yeah, and you know, you can be pretty susceptible to a lot of things as well. I've been doing a build in TVP where you actually make a command center on the high ground, and you just do not show any amount of Marines at all. And a Zealot Stalker comes, but by the time it comes, you have your 3 barracks up, you just wait for 1 round of units, and you have 6 Marines coming out of nowhere. And all of a sudden, it's like, okay, those 6 Marines, where did they come from? I know you could be doing 2 racks pressure, you could be doing so many different things. I need to be careful for so many all-ins. Of course, that will a lot of times force Protoss to only 1 base. I mean, the amount of different types of mind games you could play with this particular opening is pretty extreme. Now you can see MMA, he's doing another variation of just really toying with getting this super fast bunker or even this early game stage. He was pushing out with these Marines. I thought he was actually going to go across map to make it look like it was a 4 barracks pressure. That is something that sometimes players do to punish non-3 gating Protosses. But of course, Huck, comprehensive in his defense, goes for the 3 gateways.
I agree. And I think that early preparation will go really far away for MMA. Sure, 3 bunkers is not necessary in this scenario, but can't be too safe against a player like Huck, and that's just kind of reputation that he's earned. You know, Huck can even play into that. In fact, that's what he's sort of doing. He did go 4 sentries is a little bit excessive for the early on. You can get it by with 2.
I think he's doing the Colossus all in right now. It's like a nope, he's not. 2 more.
Oh, you mean the quick Robo Bay into
I thought it was going to like a 12-minute 3 Colossus push here, but no, he's going up to 6 gateways. It's going to be very powerful.
Yeah, there's like a interesting build that you can also do on a map. I'm not sure if it works too well on Entombed Valley, but you can still go for. Oh, okay, he's actually dropping the robotics base, so that makes more sense. But you can actually go for a War Prism and a 6-gate attack, and you get something like Charge. I know Rotterdam tells me about that attack a lot, and it really does mix up a Terran that goes for early upgrades, and doesn't really have a lot of units. But in this scenario, Huck is going for a Robo and 1 Forge, which is good. Oh, he's going for 2 Forges. See, now, I always hear people like Artosis say that you can't really afford 2 Forges and a Robotic Space and squeeze out units while being able to maintain Colossus production. What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, I disagree with that. I think you perfectly can. It's a burst type of thing, and you're spending it way before any potential pressure is coming. What you're really looking to do is say, okay, I can deal with the initial pressure. At 9 minutes and 30 seconds, there's normally 2 medevacs and a lot of units pushed out into the map. When I say a lot of units, this is actually a lot more than normal, but normally, you know, it's about a good 30 to 40 supply that's actually being pushed out. That's probably 50 supply right now. No, it's 30 to 40 supply. I take it back. But still, 30 to 40 supply, you can get by with just having your opponent trying to scout you. You have force fields. You just need to buy 1 minute, really, to really make up the investment of this 1-1 in the double forges. I really disagree heavily with that statement.
Well, it's in the combination that you're just spreading yourself very thin because you're getting things like Blink, you're getting 1-1, you're trying to get Thermal Lance too, and your gas is stretched pretty thin.
That's true. I think if you get Blink, that it's incorrect, but this current position is fine. I mean, if you just go for the 2-2 and then get your third base, I think that's the best way to play it out. Getting Blink, I definitely agree, is the wrong decision, though.
Yeah, well, that was for like the big 3 Colossus push, which doesn't look like Huck is gearing up for right now because he's only intent on defending. He is going for a Templar Arc. Oh, man, he's doing the 1 Colossus fake.
Yeah, this is one of the most frustrating builds to actually go against.
I hate facing this build.
Yeah, it's such a mind game-oriented build. It basically says, hey, get a ton of Vikings because I could be doing some really extremely powerful moves against you. But in reality, it's a big 2-base, 2-2 all-in with High Templars.
Yep.
And it basically says, you're not prepared for High Templars at all. You don't have the capacity to actually defend against this because you think I'm investing heavily into Colossus.
Yeah.
Normally, you stop Colossus production after 3, but really it's been changing into 4. People are actually saying, I need 1 more Colossus to deal enough damage by the time the Vikings actually take out all my Colossus.
Huh.
Still, I mean, how it works is you're not preparing for Ghost for quite a long time. You can even see a second starport coming out here. MMA is trying to hard counter what Huck is doing, but unfortunately, oh wow, it's going to be Archons. That's kind of surprising. Still, I mean, Archons are going to be very, very powerful. I love what we're seeing from Huck. I think this is such a clever mind game.
Yep, and the overreaction is continuing with more Vikings coming in.
Hide the Archon. Oh no.
Well, I don't know if he. Well, he does see it now with his fact. Though he should be able to see it with his factory.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, the vision on this floating building is very low. I didn't realize that. MMA trying to go for 1 giant flank though. Needs to avoid the force field. Well, the Colossus is about to drop very quickly, but Huck's 2-2 is not done. But the Guardian Shield's popping gives the Zealots an extreme amount of longevity.
God. And this is exactly what he needed. I mean, this is the time that you have to hit before 2-2 goes in, before the High Templar tech can really be up. Marines and Marauders are going to be so powerful because there's no large AoE to deal with this. I felt like Huck was perfect, but MMA making the great decisions here. He's going to cancel these 2 forges. That's 2-2. That's the game, Frodan. MMA is going to take a 2-0 advantage over Huck.
And MMA going to push in here, and Huck Doesn't really have anything to resist one anymore. GG is called, and MMA takes game number 2 and jumps out of the gate 2-0 over his opponent. Huck had an awesome build. I love that build as a Protoss player. I hate facing as Terran because you're never sure. And the funny thing is you always can switch back into claws anytime you want. It is a little bit risky because of how much you're playing with your gas. You won't have a lot of units, and I know you really would love to talk about this more. But the idea is the fake, you're over-prepared, and you don't have a lot of medevacs. So you can't heal, and with the Storm in combination with even the one Colossus, one swipe and a Storm still hurts a lot. So that kind of powerful push can still exist, but MMA, just as you said, picked the right time where he was most vulnerable because he's in the middle of transitioning before the upgrades finish.
I really feel like Archons are not the best choice. I really despise that choice to go Archons. Go High Templars. You're catching your opponent on a tech switch. They're going so heavily into Vikings to counter those Colossus. Once you pull out with High Templars, they're like, okay, I have these Vikings that can drop down. They're kind of worse Marines, worse Marauders. They're not nearly as good because they can't be healed, and they're really clunky. They're kind of slow. If he just pushed out there, he would be able to feed back, he would be able to storm. That is very, very different. In conjunction with those force fields, you can absolutely terrorize a Terran army. He didn't do that, though, and you can see Archons really don't have the weight in gold to actually really support that decision.
Great build from Huck, but flawless dissection from MMA as he now has a 2-0 lead over his opponent. The game was brought to you by LA Byte. Type in a promo code NASL at the checkout menu to let them know that you support us. Also, the NASL Season 4 Finals, if you use LA Byte as a promo code, you get $20 off on your ticket for the Season 4 Finals in Long Beach, California. We also have a commercial prepared, provided by the Casters and Clutch. I hope you guys enjoy.